Hello and welcome back to Filmfaker's commentary from your friends at Supraliminal Films.
Woo!
Before we dive into this episode, don't get excited yet, Jared.
Woo.
We got to make an announcement about the future of Filmfaker's commentary.
Woo, future!
This episode that we are watching right now, hopefully, if not, how are you experiencing this?
The future.
Anyway, this episode, as of the end of 2018, will be the last episode of Filmfaker's commentary that we do in this style. That's right, we are changing Filmfaker's commentary for what will be the third time.
Yeah.
Since its inception. Initially, if you stuck with us the whole time, you'll know that the original was just a completely audio-based format where you had to have the movie or have access to the movie, shut off the volume, and watch it along with us. Then we decided for ease of use and for more accessibility on YouTube that we would do it in this format, where we picked out a clip, a specific scene, and talked about why it's important to the overall piece, what we like about it, etc., etc. You know the deal. And since we've been struggling really hard in this format with copyright issues,
Yeah.
we think in our best interest to move the format to the same thing. We're still going to talk about a scene from a movie that we love, but we're going to put hopefully a more video essay style and very unique and Superliminal-esque style to our Filmfaker's commentary. So we're really excited about it. It's going to be a buttload more work per episode.
Yay!
So the frequency of which they come out will be minimized a little bit, but they will be better, and I think they are a much more thoughtful entry into the world of filmmaking and video essays and that kind of, film nerd stuff, the cinephile bits we all love.
Yeah, I think it'll go from us just sitting and watching the scene and be like, oh man, this part's great. Hopefully you're actually watching with us. To this part's great and here's why, and we're going to break it down a little bit better because we're not just going to be sitting there watching it. But, you'll be able to see a different way of it being broken down.
Yeah, it's going to be a much deeper analysis of the scenes, and we'll do a lot more pre-work. A lot of these, sometimes we do pre-work, but a lot of times it's just we watch the clip together, talk about it, and if we think of, if there's some kind of little bit of oh man, we should say that in when we're actually recording, that's usually about as far as it goes for prep, because we've seen these movies a bunch of times because we all love them.
Yeah.
So, sans Iron Man 2. That being said...
That was a great scene.
It is a great scene. That being said, this week is the second request from good friend of the channel, Brady Hartsfeld. Thank you so much for sticking with us through the duration of this new format, at least, if not a little longer. And he requested eons ago, if you saw the Blade Runner episode, that was his request, that we do a second Roger Rabbit episode. So we cannot deny a fan request. So we are doing this as the last one because it was a fan request. So we figured it was special and we'd save it to be the last one in this format.
Yep.
So we are doing the end scene from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where Judge Doom is squaring off against Eddie Valiant and all kinds of dip is flying and cartoon characters are expiring. So it's a hoot. And we're gonna, turn it on and get us going. Jared?
All right. I forget the timestamp, so just watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, you can watch it on this very clip.
All right, and here we go.
There we go. We got dip spray. Weasel down.
Weasel down.
So, this is such an ambitious scene. There's so much, this is we've seen all this throughout the entirety of the movie already, but this is such an impressive climax to this movie. The shadows on the wall are great. Every shadow, the shadow of the machine made it look kind of like teeth. The scene right before this, there was a shadow that looked like two big claw hands.
Yeah.
Clutching at the machine. It's really good. There's a lot of subtlety in here that they put in. It's just so much clever and careful thought. Everything's so well addressed.
Yeah, and the machine, you can feel it, is just a giant, scary monster.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fantastic. Just like in the background, like the curveballs, right? Like he got knocked off, he was throwing a curveball. Like everything is so smartly handled in this particular film. That's just, I mean, from top to bottom, everything is just fantastic.
Yeah, there's so many subtle jokes and stuff that are just written on the boxes. And obviously some of the stuff that they use, like this giant magnet, you know, you've seen them used in cartoons, but now it's like, what's the real world application of that if that were to happen? And this is the result of, you know, the Toon World coming into the real world.
Yeah, and that's a great point, right? Because in a moment here, now that he's trapped, we're going to see that Judge Doom has quite a sinister notion for how he's going to dispatch Eddie, who is a human and not a cartoon character. And when you start something like a giant steamroller and you're going to run over a human being with it, like, it suddenly goes from, like, what in a cartoon would be funny to what is absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, like the only other time I've seen a steamroller used was in a comedic movie with Austin Powers. Because the actual practical thought of this is terrifying.
Oh, just your foot going under it would be enough to give me a nightmare.
Yeah, like, they have work meetings about things like this. You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, this is violating all sorts of OSHA regulations here. Not that OSHA may have existed at this point when the movie is set, but you know.
Yeah, that's very true.
And now we're going to have a fight with some of the most disgusting glue of all time.
I believe you reference it as just raw latex, basically.
It looks like they took some cured liquid latex that he was grabbing onto, and they coated it in more liquid latex, because this is the color and texture of liquid latex. It's disgusting stuff, and it smells like pure ammonia.
It looks so awful.
The color's gross, the texture is slimy grossness of it, the clinginess of it, everything about it is gross. Yeah. It's just such an awful bit. It's not something you want to deal with. If you have to deal with it in your life, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so there goes the ankle.
The job done. Yep.
It's like, oh no, he's still stuck to it, and he's not getting away.
And the glue is still flying everywhere, which is also a nice touch.
Oh yeah.
It's like, how many takes did they do this? They had to re-dip his hand in this so he could fling it around like that. Just, again, every moment and every visual cue, everything in this movie is just, I guess, you know, John Hammond style, spared no expense.
Yeah, they went all out.
And this is really alarming.
Oh yeah, like, I remember seeing this as a kid and just being completely terrified, because it kind of looks like Freddy Krueger right there.
Oh yeah, he looks like Robert Englund for sure.
And you're just like, what am I watching? What is he doing?
Yeah.
I'm terrified.
His voice starts to go all wonky and everything.
Well, when he's getting crushed, the screaming he does is just awful.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's so alarming on so many levels.
And his eyes drop out, and then you're like, oh god.
Oh, like, and just, I mean, you get to see how great of a design, as subtle as it is, that Doom is. Like, you can see it. Like, there's definitely something on, like, they've definitely at least shaded around his eyes and nose, if not added a little bit of something there. Definitely a veneer over his teeth. And it's such an alarming design. The hair is really bizarre choice. Like, why is there a little bit of hair? It's so strange.
Well, I mean, back then, latex masks, you know, punching hair is probably a lot more work.
Yeah, it's just, it's a wild set of choices for that character.
And then his, like, you know, Terminator 2 changing hand, but he can actually make complex weapons.
Yeah, it's really scary. It's like, you know, cartoons, like, if you were able to, you know, incorporate a cartoon into life, it would be absolutely nightmare-inducing.
Oh, yeah. Like, this is awful.
Yeah.
Like, the idea that something can come after you like this, it's like, no, I don't want that. I don't want T-1000.
Yeah, Lloyd loves it. Like, you can just see his performance, his his physicality sells all of it. It's wonderful. And of course, you know, Eddie Valiant, no schlub himself. Bob Hoskins, terrific, and just, again, his, like, the effort that he, especially throughout the movie, puts into making this seem like real life.
Yeah.
Really kills it. Oh, Jessica Rabbit, you could not exist in today's age.
Not even a bit.
No, it's it definitely would not happen. it is funny how different it was back in the day here.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely a different time. And we get to watch a man melt.
Yeah. And this is one time where I'm glad that we don't use audio.
Oh, this is awful.
Like, he does, like, a Wicked Witch impression, and... what a world of melting. Oh, my God.
Yeah, and the yellow that's coming off of him from being in the dip and the smoke, it's like, oh, like it just gives it such a violent feel. Really, really nice. Again, incorporating how awful it would actually be. It's really smartly handled by the filmmakers. I mean, I don't know who gave this much thought to, like, what if a cartoon was in real life? It's kind of like Magneto, where you're like, what if a guy could control magnets? That doesn't seem that powerful. And it's like, yeah, just every nuance is perfect in this movie. It's one of the best. I mean, I don't want to call it a kids movie, but it's one of the best
cartoon movies.
Yeah, for sure.
There it goes.
It's so good. There's just, I mean, it's hard to say anything bad about this movie. It's from, the voice acting from Fleischer all the way to the physicality of Hoskins, everything, the character designs, everything. I mean, let us not forget, it's a period piece on top of all of that.
Yeah, like filmed in the 80s, but set in like the 30s, I think.
Yeah.
Because it was after Prohibition.
Yep, right after Prohibition. Yeah, it's fantastic because all like the bar earlier is set up like a speakeasy. It's awesome on every level. Like, if you don't like this movie, I mean, thanks for watching this clip with us, but what's wrong with you? Tell us in the comments.
Yeah. Tell us what's wrong with you in the comments. That's the way to engage.
You guys keep telling me to try to set up more engagement.
No, just say, hey, let us know why you don't like it. Not, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Comment. No. Damn it. All right.
Yeah, so stick with us into next year. More Filmfakers to come. I think you guys are going to love it.